Victoria's Health Department is urging Melburnians to seek urgent medical care if they have symptoms of Legionnaire's disease following an outbreak in the city. For details on the symptoms and spread of the illness, let's go to our reporter Stephanie Ferrier. Steph, what are authorities saying about this outbreak?
Morning, James. Yes, they've said that they've got 22 confirmed cases and also 6 suspected cases of Legionnaire's disease that's happened since last Friday. That's pretty significant when you think about the fact that for the entire year last year there were about 180 cases, and yet we've had 22 in the space of just a few days. And so most of these cases have been people aged over 40. They've all been hospitalised. Some have even been put into intensive care with community-acquired pneumonia, quite severe levels of pneumonia, in fact. And we've heard that all of these patients have either lived or visited metropolitan Melbourne in recent days across various locations. And so health authorities are working really hard to try to pinpoint this cause and see whether or not these cases are linked. They're checking cooling towers, for example, and other possible sources. And Legionnaire's is not usually spread from person to person or from drinking contaminated water, but it exists in the environment and can be spread or basically got by breathing in those fine water droplets that contain this Legionella bacteria. And so that's possibly around lakes, waterways, rivers, creeks, as well as man-made areas like spas, warm water, in particular cooling towers, and that's why it's so important, the health department says, that those operators really check that they are up to date with their testing and monitoring requirements, and also areas like gardening potting mix as well.
And Steph, what do people have to look out for?
So if you have any of these sorts of symptoms, which normally look like a chest infection or flu-like symptoms like fever, chills, cough, headache, there are also some more unusual symptoms that can be also from Legionnaire's disease. That includes vomiting, nausea, diarrhoea and also confusion. And anybody that has that really needs to get in contact with their health professional quickly to just make sure that it's not Legionnaire's disease. Also, doctors are being urged to be on the lookout for anybody that might be from susceptible groups. They include people who are aged over 40, I should say, as well as smokers, those with chronic lung conditions, also organ conditions, diabetes and immunocompressed people or compromised people. But to make sure that if there's anything that looks like Legionnaire's disease, particularly getting that community-acquired pneumonia, that they urgently order some of these tests just to rule that out as well. But certainly authorities are quite concerned about this at the moment.
All right, Steph, thank you.
I'm going to take you to the UK now, where 2 children have been killed and 9 others seriously injured after a stabbing attack in northwest England. Europe correspondent Isabella Higgins reports from the town where this attack took place.
This is a deeply upsetting and distressing incident that's taken place here. There are families in this town that are currently living through the unthinkable. Police have now released some details and given us an idea of what happened on this street earlier today. We understand an armed offender arrived at a community centre where a Taylor Swift-themed dance event for primary school-aged children was taking place. They then entered that facility, and then police say what happened after was a ferocious attack. A number of children stabbed, left fighting for their lives. Bystanders, ambulances, air ambulances all arrived here to get those children to hospital, where a number is still in a critical condition and fighting for their life. Local police spoke earlier. Let's take a listen to what they had to say about exactly what's happened.
When they arrived, they were shocked to find that multiple people, many of whom were children, had been subjected to a ferocious attack. We believe that the adults who were injured were bravely trying to protect the children who were being attacked.
A 17-year-old boy has been arrested on suspicion of murder and attempted murder. At this stage, the motive is not known, but police have ruled out that this is a terror-related incident.
That's Isabella Higgins there. Yeah.
It's a horrible story. It's got to be like one of parents' worst nightmares, something like that to happen. Well, let's get some finance news now. And the federal government says a new cybersecurity law will force businesses to disclose ransom payments to hackers. It'll apply to companies with a turnover in excess of $3 million. The government says it's a no-fault scheme that wouldn't punish businesses for paying ransoms.
Thousands of people have rallied against a Rio Tinto mining project in Serbia. Rio Tinto says the proposed lithium mine would create thousands of jobs in an industry critical to renewable energy, but opponents are worried about the mine's environmental impact in the Balkan nation.